That's me, Shayla Lee, and I'm going to be a senior this year. But before I move on into adulthood, there are still a few things that I want to try. And today, I'm going to be showing you how I made a utensil pouch. Okay, so grab your fabric of choice and a pair of scissors, and then use whatever utensil as a measuring mark. I'm going to give it some space between the top and the bottom, marking them off, and then cutting it off into a piece of fabric that we're going to be using as our utensil pouch. And then make sure to also save some extra fabric or the string of your hoodie, which is what I did because we'll be using this later. Then we're going to flip our fabric inside out, and that way when we sew, the stitches will be on the inside and invisible from the outside. Select the side that you want to use as the bottom, and then begin a single stitch. For any of the sewing portions of the video, I will not be teaching you how to do it because I would not want you to injure yourself with any of my instructions, so please have a parent or guardian that already has some knowledge in sewing and have them teach you. Another thing that you could do instead of sewing is go to your local craft store and find some fabric glue. Personally, I have never used it before, so I don't know if it's waterproof or it would be safe on our utensils, but if you wanna, then you should give it a try. 1 hour and a few dead brain cells later, we have our bottom stitch done, and as you can see, I did cut off the side a little bit and then re-sewed. It was just because I thought my pouch was a little bit too big for me, but you don't have to do this. And then we're just going to flip it inside out to check and see how it looks on the front side, and I think it looks pretty good, so I'll move on to the next step, which is folding the top and then sewing it to make a hole for our drawstring, and that is where the extra fabric or string that we saved earlier will come into play. So hopefully you did save that. Okay, so in the clip I actually folded it back inside out, but you don't have to do this. But I just used my metal straw as a guide, and then I'm going to cut some little incisions so that I have enough fabric to fold down so that when I sew I'll have a big enough hole to put the string through. And then on the sides that we cut, I'm going to sew around it so that the fabric does not get frayed or torn. Okay, so once we're done with that, that's what it'll look like. I think it looks pretty okay for now. And then I'm going to be doing the same thing with the top part just to make sure it doesn't get frayed or torn as well. And then I'm also checking with my metal straw to see if it fits in the pouch even when it's folded, and it looks like it does, so we can keep sewing.
1 eternity later.
Hello. I believe it's been 4 hours and I still did not have dinner yet, so my stitching was a little bit crooked, but it's okay. But now we're going to be using a single stitch again to be holding these down on the pouch for our holes. Like this. Wow, that was pretty fast. Just kidding. And now that we've got that through, I'm going to check with my metal straw one more time to see if it fits. It looks like it does. So now I'm going to get a bobby pin, that string or extra fabric that we saved earlier, and I'm going to be tying a knot with the string onto the bobby pin so that we can feed it through the hole, and then we'll be creating a drawstring. And this is what your pouch will look like after you feed the string. I did notice that my strings were a little bit too long, so I trimmed it and then I knotted it. You don't have to do this. This is completely optional, and there you have it. Now you have this wonderful homemade DIY utensil pouch that you can use all the time. 2 hours later, we have our utensil pouch, and I'm not going to say it's the best thing that I've ever done, or like even the best stitching that I've ever done, but that just makes me want to improve more, and I'll definitely try more projects that involve sewing. And here it is. This is the final result. I hope you guys also enjoyed your utensil pouch, and stay tuned for the next DIY or video in general.